student the other day asked me how I like my tea. Okay. I showed you these pots once before when they had the big round plastic knobs. I've changed them out for these. This wasn't actually a pot. This was intended, along with that little boy and two more of varying sizes, as a countertop canister set. But it's 18/8 stainless steel, good and heavy. Makes a wonderful cooking pot. And since the lid fits inside instead of outside, oh, this is one of the best camp cooking pots I've had in a long time. And the knob, if it's too hot to touch with my hand, well, I can always grab my big pot fork and lift it off that way. That's why I chose those knobs for this job. This is stoneware with brass in the center, and it does get hot if you cooked in it long enough. This has only been on for a short time. Water isn't even come to the boil. Now, what you see in there is not tea. That is mulling spice. Now, these mulling spice bags by Martinelli's, okay, this zipper bag comes right in the box when you buy them. They're intended for cider that's full of spices, cinnamon and clove and nutmeg and etc. But you know what? One of those thrown into a gallon of water and allowed to steep for about a half an hour. And then when the water finally comes to the boil, because I throw that bag in there, that's in there, when the water's cold, I throw it right into the cold water and I bring it up, put the lid on it and bring it to the boil. When that water comes to the boil, I add 12 black tea bags. Now let me be Gem Brilliant clear, boys and girls. Them's Dollar Tree tea bags. $1 for 100. You don't get cheaper black tea than that anywhere. It ain't the best black tea in the world, but it'll do. It ain't bad. So I've got 12 of those baggies tied up, ready to go when that comes to the boil. What I would do when it comes to the boil is I will turn off the burner, put the 12 baggies in, turn the fire off, put the lid on it, and leave it. That pot will sit there for a couple hours. After a couple hours, I sieve out the tea bags and the mulling spice bag, and I ladle the tea into empty 2-liter pot bottles. That canister holds just enough to fill 2 brimming full. And then I put them into my little teapot to reheat when I'm ready for a couple cups of tea. Now, they say tea is best when it's served fresh, hot. Yeah, they're right. When it is still fresh, it is best. But it ain't terrible reheating it. And when you're living on the kind of income I'm living on, this is the efficient, inexpensive way to make tea, because then I reheat generally on those little alcohol stove I showed you. Well, sometimes I toss it on here while I'm cooking my pot of oats in the morning or something like that. And 2-liter bottles, that's what I made last night. That's tea for the rest of the day. Now, sometimes I drink coffee, sometimes I drink something else. I'll be showing you that something else later, because that's a treat that's not an everyday beverage. So for now, we'll talk to you later. Well, that special beverage I promised you, hot cocoa, peppermint flavor, yummy. Yeah, like I said, this is one of those things that I get every now and then as a special treat. I allow myself 1 or 2 cups of it and then put it away for a couple weeks. Reason being, oh, could they spare it? I just bought this at Wally World. Ain't that disgusting? These things used to come chock-a-block full. Well, needless to say, well, I'm not going to throw it away just because it's only half full. It's just bloody disgusting. But this says Okay, preparation directions. 3 tablespoons hot cocoa mix into a cup or mug. Add 8 ounces, 1 cup of hot water or milk. Well, I'm not using milk. I'm going to be using water. And that's 1 cup. What do you know? So, 1, 2, 3. Now, that's what it calls for, but I like mine just a little stronger. And that's why I say this is a special treat I only do once in a while. Oh, boy. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Oh, hot. Mm, hot, 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 hot. Mm. Cheers. Oh, mm, that's good. Oh, mm, some of the best mint hot cocoa I've ever had. With the exclusion of stuff I make homemade myself. But that's got a good, strong mint flavor. But then again, of course, I added 2 extra heaping tablespoons of the hot cocoa mix, so maybe that's why. Yummy. Yeah. Now, like I said, and I probably won't touch that again for a week. Now, why? Well, as I showed you early this morning, I'm diabetic. I have to test my blood sugar every day, several times a day because of the diabetes. But the good news is, since my wife abandoned me and I've been doing all my own cooking, my blood sugar has gone down, down, down to where it belongs. Now, I haven't changed what I eat. I am eating more than I used to, and my blood sugar went down. Why? I'm not doing as much exertion as I used to do. Why is my blood sugar down? From 300 down to where it belongs, down around 100. My A1C has gone from a 12 to an 8.1. Could it possibly be somebody was adding table sugar to everything they made for me to eat, trying to push my blood sugar sky high so I would have a diabetic stroke? I'm not pointing a finger at anybody. I'm suggesting a possibility. I suspect things happened. I can't prove them. But it's the only thing that makes sense. Now, yeah, like I said, I've just started using Bear Creek Foods. But instead of eating what it calls for as 1 serving, I'm eating the whole package in 1 sitting. Macaroni and cheese, that's supposed to be 3 servings. I'm eating the whole dang thing instead of sharing it with somebody else. The soup is supposed to make 8 1-cup servings. I eat the whole bloody bag in 1 go. But yet my blood sugar has come down, 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 down. I'm eating more dessert. I'm eating more candies. And my blood sugar is down, down, down where it belongs. Makes you stop and scratch your chin and think about it, don't it? I'm convinced that there was somebody that I was living with that was adding table sugar to everything they served after they took their portion and left mine in the pan. I'm convinced of it. Can't prove it, mind you, but I'm convinced of it. Otherwise, the only thing I have limited myself on since then is bread. And I used to limit myself on bread back then, just not as much as I do now. I used to eat 1 slice of bread with my dinner every day. Now I'm eating bread maybe 1 slice every 3rd day. It's not that big a decrease in bread intake.
And sometimes I eat a lot more bread. I'll cut up bread and throw it in the bowl and then pour chili over it. And I'll have 3 or 4 slices all at one go. But yet my blood sugar's down, down, down. Every time I check, it's down. So you tell me what you think. Was somebody intentionally putting sugar in my food trying to kill me? It's my opinion. Peace.
By the way, don't forget to